I need to clean my camera lens. There's a pretty girl to me.
She's nice.
I wonder if you can watch it on, if it's on Roku anywhere. Let's see. I hate the Toy Story.
You don't like that story?
I can't stand any of it.
Oh.
You see, it don't exist.
Oh.
In Roku, it don't exist. Okay. See, because you have toys, and then you have start over. Then you have, let's trash that. Then you have the toy. I wonder what the earth would be if none of this existed. If there was no TV, we wouldn't be living in. See, there's the toy.
The toy.
That's with Robin, or what's that guy's name? Burned his face up from freebasing cocaine in the 80s.
Oh, wow.
Richard Pryor. Richard and his Pryors. Okay, what else? But they don't have. See, I bought these DVDs of these old movies that they don't. I don't know if you could still watch LA Story. That was like one of my favorite movies ever when I was like 14.
Uh-huh.
It made me fall in love with magic.
Magic.
Because Steve Martin was in it. He was in another movie called, what was that other movie called that he did? The Roxanne, where he had a big nose and he learned how to make fun of himself. Like Cyrano de Bergerac.
Oh.
You just, people make fun of you, just make fun of yourself bigger than they are, and then they're like, this bitch is crazy, and then they leave you alone. You want people, I just want to be left alone by the world, so I teach the world how to leave you, because I get ignored a lot, but I need help sometimes. And so I got to go out in the world, and I got to ask for help, and people don't want to help me for whatever reason, which is weird, because whenever I see somebody needs help, I try and give them help. God is my homeboy. Good orderly direction. God, Mom taught me about God when I was a little girl. We would be running from men in the woods that would be chasing after her, and she would stop and hide under a rock and tell me to be real quiet. That's how I learned how people track people. From living in circumstances like that. And people think I'm a weirdo because I just tell stories about my life. But I think it's weird that society creates a world where mothers and children have to hide from men in the woods. It's always been like this. It's never not been this way. Hey, what's up? My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka. I talk about the shadow side of Earth. I talk so people know that it exists and they don't get caught up by men that wear pleated pants and have little tassels on their shoes.
Tassels.
Those are the dudes that'll nab you up. They'll get you and do dirty things to you in back rooms. I just want to warn people because my mom was a victim of a lot of abuse in her life, and then they tried to do the same thing to me, and I wouldn't take the abuse. And I work when other people are sitting around. I can't sit around and do nothing, so I think about all the men out there, all the violent people that have the anger issues and stuff. It's not just men, it's in women too. It's playing out on the world stage right now. They go out and they feel so bad they got to take their hurt inside and put it out on the whole world. And I want to help people not do that. Because there's so much pretty stuff, you know? Like there's nature everywhere, and people are lighting it on fire. And there's different stories that are playing out all over the world because whenever people are conflicted within themselves, we see this bullshit, the whole World War talk and dropping bombs and we're gonna get them. It's all because men are conflicted within themselves. And astrologers don't help much because they're not telling people that they can rise above their astrology. You know, they're just telling them how, well, when the energy's been like this in history, we've gone to war. Well, that doesn't mean we have to go to war again. It doesn't mean we have to keep doing the same thing that the potentials tell us that we have to do. And I got a lot of what they call, I don't know, what people have been telling me my whole life about me, and they put words like I got anger issues, but I don't get mad about stuff. Because I had to learn to let things go, because when I was a little kid, a little weird autistic kid, I would throw tantrums, and then stuff would break, and Mom couldn't replace it, and then she would just hate me. I know what it's like to be born to people that hate you. But I understood when I was a little kid, it's not me, it's my father's face, that I look like my father, and she looks in my face, and she sees this man that left her with this little weird kid. And she didn't know what to do with me, because nobody ever knows what to do with me. People might say, I don't know what to do with you. She would bring out my suitcase out once a month when I was in high school, and she'd just throw my shoes and my clothes in it. I never had a lot of stuff. She'd just throw his shit in a bag, and she'd be like, go live with your fucking dad, dude. And then I'd call my dad, and I'd be like, Mom wants me to come live with you. And he'd be like, no. So I know what it's like to have to join systems just so you can get by to eat. At one point I enlisted in the military because I didn't want to be homeless on the street. And then I figured out where all the money went to. Us bombing people and having bases and vacationing and places, all parts in between. I mean, America's all over the place. America does whatever he wants. It's just a machismo country. We live in a machismo country. It's run by perverts. By a bunch of cokeheads. My whole life, the worst thing I ever did, I drank a lot of alcohol for a long time, and then I made bad choices, so I quit drinking alcohol. I would do weed because that's the only thing that I can do to stop the pain in my body and in my head and stuff. And I have a lot of it, and I'm in a world where people like this guy just flies to Italy to use government resources to play slap ass in it. That's what America is, and it's really hard to hang on. Because I'm not seeing a lot of other veterans that are there because they go along to get along, and if you got people that did 20 years and they have their 50 acres in Arkansas, and they got their 50 acres in Nebraska, and they got their 50 acres in California, and they got their 20 acres here, because every time they PCS, they buy new property, so people don't understand what a gross system the whole industrial military complex is. Then you have people that are priced out of homes, but then you have crimes that are done in houses in every community, and then nobody wants to live there no more because it's got bad juju on it. So then the police get to buy it in auctions. So they get all these resources because that's what they break mental health, and then the systems exist, support the people that are supposed to, all police are in 2026, they go around and clean up messes. That's all they do. They go around to aftermath where people break their brains, disassociate, act out, and then they go around and clean up the aftermath. Like, why can't we make a society where police have to be educated in psychology 101? Like, if this person is under duress, the first thing you have to do is figure out what timeline the person that's having a mental health crisis, you got to figure out where they are and meet them where they're at. And locking people up and putting them all in weird, like, you know, like, I think one of the greatest tortures you can do is like a straitjacket kind of thing. You know what those are? Ma, they ever put you in a straitjacket? When you were in a Atascadero? They put you in one of those coats where you gave yourself a hug? Did they?
Yeah.
They did? See, my brother rolled me up in a rug one time. And that's what it felt like to me. Like, people torture people. And they think it's, you know, just playing around, just screwing around. And I don't like to play like that. You know, I don't think it's amusing. Like, the whole industry where people contact sports and things like that, all of it is just, there's no place for it on the earth in which I live. You know, like, I'm supposed to feel bad about football players because they're playing it, you know, for years. They get millions of dollars for playing slap ass on a field. That doesn't seem fair. There's too many single moms out there that need stuff. I never understood this earth. Like, why do all the resources going into causing harm? Why do they get all the money? And America sold out so long ago. Like, it don't matter. Iran, Iraq, like all the F-16s, all that, they all come from us. We just sell out to the highest bidder because that's what America does. And then they say things like it's nothing personal. Because people without souls, they have no spirits. People that don't have spirits, like, they feed off humans. They look at people as cattle. You might as well, you know, because they think they're so important that they don't revere life themselves. Because they have these expectations that their spirit's going to live on forever. Which is true, because energy doesn't die, but shoot, man, people are racking up a whole lot of nasty karma on planet Earth, Ma. You know it? Just from not taking care of people, just from turning the other cheek. Just from just ignoring people that, like, for years I put myself out on the internet. I'm like, dude, I didn't know where to live. I just don't want to be homeless. And I would call agencies in Salem. I would call, like, veteran homeless, helpless, homeless. Like, I would call all the numbers that people told me to call to get help. Because it's not just me. Because I can always just take care of me. But I didn't know how to take care of me. And then the dogs that I had. And then the cats. Like, I didn't, like, all that stuff. And then they started getting old and Mom started needing more care. And I couldn't go to work. Because I couldn't leave Mom. Because I could do all the things to set her up to be comfortable. And she still can go in the bathroom and I'll come home and she's, like, stuck in the bathroom. You understand? Do people understand? Like, when you're taking care of somebody that can't think for themselves, how hard it is. Because I'm always, like, even when I'm gone to the grocery store, I'm here making sure she's okay. And society ain't made to help people like me to take care of women like her. It's made to watch the Molly McCords and the Robert Phoenixes and the Leo Cubs and the Joni Patrice and all these snake oil salesmen that say, you know, that are all gonna get ready to gather in Sedona. What a bunch of, it's like a puddle of posers when they do that shit. Like, what do these fucking people do to gather in Sedona, stay at the same hotels, you know, eat crappy food, drink too much wine? That don't do nothing for the homeless people in that community. That does not, it's like people gather because they're so important and they travel around and they spread their importance, but there's still poverty and gentrification everywhere they go. They don't do anything to add to the community because the community is only as good as it treats its lowest echelon. A community is only as good as it treats the biggest scumbag in the community. Every community. And I think about the assholes that just, God, man, they live in a lap of luxury and they're complete fucking candy-coated turds in society because of who they're related to. Like America's going down the toilet because of the bro club. Because of butt stuff. It cracks me up. Like, people have compromised themselves. They've sold their soul. They took that easy, softer way. So a lot of people have done a lot of things they can't live with themselves. And what do they got to do? Look at all the people that have to escape themselves every single day. They're constantly having to escape themselves. People can't be quiet with themselves. They can't go within and look at all the stuff. Because we're all just radio receivers and look at what people are picking up on. Just go around and vacation here and go around here and do this fun thing and go around here. And I'm just like, dude, you got all these like support staff that are hanging on. There's this, like, I don't know. I get concerned when people spend so much time in their cars and there's so many people out there that their cars like have broken parts. That it's like an $80 part, but then where I live they charge hundreds of dollars to put it on. So you got all these people driving around in unsafe vehicles and then not just accidents waiting to happen all over the place. People don't take care of their stuff. They don't even change the oil in their cars when they should. You know it? In Taos, there's cars everywhere. Cars dead in yards just because people didn't want to put oil in an engine. It's something so simple that can be so easily remedied, but people just have to drive things so hard and fast, and because they got to get the insides to match their outsides, so you got people with the zoomies everywhere racing around. I was talking to the people at the car place today. I went and had my oil changed. I said, get that metric oil out of my shit. Drain that shit. Flush it out. I don't want metric oil touching my shit. Because dirty people with dirty hearts and dirty mechanics that'll rip you off, like, they put bad juju on shit. There's so much bad juju in New Mexico just because they're friends with Epstein. Like, when I think about New Mexico is largely Epstein. It is. They've been genetically modifying people since the 50s. It's all the people that benefited, all the born and raised that got, the good jobs. Like, they're all culpable. They're all, anybody that has ever allowed any harm to come to my mother from the time she was a baby thrown away in Cuesta in the 1950s, and then all of the terrible things that happened to her the 3 years that she lived in an orphanage in El Paso, Texas, where they had the lions out front, the Tartaria buildings, where they've been just feeding off this human spirit the whole time. And Mom, that's why she's so precious to me, because she's still happy. She didn't let all of the men that abused her, she never complained. And she found her voice, and she learned how to stick up for herself. And she would get in these dudes' faces, and I would be like, Mom, just stand down. Just leave them alone. Mom, you're dealing with wicked souls. You're dealing with evil demonic beings. They're just take on the vessel of a human spirit. So you're fighting against principalities, Marge. She wouldn't, and she would get in these, and I've seen this woman get knocked off balconies of a second story porch. I'm glad that God didn't have me witness, but I listened to the police report when it was called in the day that the man that slammed her head in the car door, he tried to kill me with her cane that same day. And so the police were called, and they ran the report, and that's how I found out that the man slammed her head in the car door. Like, that is completely void of spirit. Like, there's so many women that have been abused, but nobody wants to hear about it because it makes people feel bad. Well, people should feel bad. Because how many times, like, I can't go through the world and hear yelling and screaming and escalation. Like, if you people hate each other, just get the fuck away from each other. Like, I don't go around people I don't like. I don't put myself in positions. I like to go for walks, and I don't always know what's going on in the local community. And oftentimes I stumble across a bunch of bullshit, because that's what Taos is, like the barn dance. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's just living the same year over and over. The same loops, and then they call themselves productive members of society. But Taos is a weird place, man. If they hate you, there's this one kid, man. I like to tell these stories about these kids because I don't want people to get the wrong idea about Taos and think it's such a wonderful, magical, great place. It is. They call it the enchantment is a spell. Is when they get people to believe that things are better than they are. Like a kid moved out here to live on the mesa, and his homies that he moved out here, his old army buddies, didn't like him, got annoyed with the kid, did something, ended his life, and ended up littering the kid alongside the highway. That's Taos. Like, people come to Taos to jump off a bridge to end their life. That's Taos. Like, all the times I've had to walk the streets of this town to get from one place because people aren't friendly enough to stop and pick you up. But you got to be careful who you get into a car with because they find skulls in people's front yards all the time, and there's always people getting decapitated. Because there's always people that take their will and oppose it on other beings and want to end their life. It's evil. But people don't like to talk about that, but they celebrate these women. I see a story this morning. Oh, the Taoians, these women of Taos that fucking make Taos such a good place. Well, let me get a picture of these women in my head, and whenever I'm walking around Taos and I'm trying to build community with people, you know, and I'm asking people in the community, like, what would you like to see money spent on here? Do you want to see it spent on bullshit like ice rinks in the desert? Do you find that useful? Or should there be programs that exist that the throwaways of society, that they could go out and just pick up trash and earn $15 an hour? And then have like automatic direct deposit to their account, Venmo, whatever, you know, electronic service they use. And then people that don't want to deal with society anymore, like that, we still have a place too. Because, like, every day I open up screens, like TV, like, screens, like, media screens, and I see how Biff, the fucking president of butt stuff, is doing bullshit wherever he feels like. It's just men with inferiority complexes and ideas of grandiosity that go around, they waste. Like, the shit they do costs money, and they don't care because they always just go around and do whatever they want, including, you want to know why fucking dudes, like, do their kids? Because they're narcissists. And they have this little thing in their head that it's like they're fucking themselves. That's why I think the president is a pedo. And that he's not beyond that. Because they're warped. They're weird. People that are never told no, that have always just done what they wanted because of their power and their influence, they do gross shit. And then they perpetually escalate the gross shit that they do. Because it's gross to have American citizens all over Phoenix, Arizona, Los Angeles, Redding, California, Salem, Oregon, all parts Washington State. And then you have people in Utah, Montana, Wyoming, Nebraska. You have people not in the big cities. Not a part of the rest of the production of what America is, the contrived reality. And they're just trying to get by through the elements. And then you have like a storm that comes through every now and again. And then people have meltdowns. Because then they're like, oh no, what am I going to do if I don't have power for a long period of time? Well, I guess you're going to find out. Because we really should be creating a society where people are just taken care of under all circumstances. And that's not what's been happening. And so now America's turned into a third world country because we bought our bullshit to other parts of the country where nobody was looking. And we reckon up all this karma, see, because it's wrong to kill people. Thou shalt not kill. Like all the religions talk about it. Like you don't get to see somebody and have their existence annoy you and then end their life. That's a bad thing. Any way you look at it, that is bad. And people take on intoxicants. I was talking at the lady, when I was getting the oil change, and I went next door, they have a coffee machine at the flower shop. And I was talking to the lady. I said single mothers should never even have to pay taxes. Like, why should a single mother that is raising a child that doesn't need all this extra financial stress and pressure? Because that's why we go to wars, because you have all these single moms and they have these little Virgo boys and these little Cancer boys and these little Gemini guys and they see these strong women, and then these women hate what the women have to, these little boys hate to see what their mommies have to do to take care of them because dad ran off because he just is looking for someplace else to put it. My dad was such a fucking lecherous scumbag, dude. Like, I happen to love that guy. I wouldn't say I love him. I love the parts of me that derive from him, because if I hate them, then that will turn me to dark stuff. Then in my mind. And I don't want to be like him. And so I've never cheated on anybody I ever dated because he was always a cheater. Like, I don't cheat in games because my brother was always the cheater. And that's the only way you can really set yourself apart in this life, is not doing the things that the people do to sell their soul. I don't watch sports because all those people, like people that make $4 million a year, you know what, you buy your mom a house? Why don't you buy it, like that's where it stops? The good deed stops at one place, and then I never understand this planet that we live on, huh, Mom? As long as Mom's happy, and she is. Mom is still alive because Mom wants to be alive. Yeah. Because she still has that spark, right? Right? Some day I don't have that spark, Ma. Some days it's real hard for me to want to stay here. Because it hurts my heart to see how awful people treat other people. And I have to go hide in the corner of the bed and shut out the whole world. Because you can just like hear it through the power lines how wicked people are sometimes. They're not very cool. So I'm done with society. Like, you might see, there might be sightings of me here and there. I'll throw some stickers around town. But like all that stuff of like, I don't know, like car shows and stuff like that. That's just so stupid. It's a bunch of people sitting around and doing nothing all day. I can't sit around and do nothing all day. Even like if we would go to the beach and stuff, I can't go to the store and see trash on the ground and I see all the people that are just walking over it. I don't understand that. If everybody did a little bit of something every day to make the world a better place, every day the world would be becoming a better place. Yet they keep talking about, another military engagement, another bullshit. America's fucking flexing its bullshit again. It's got something to prove. America's being Uncle Sam's being a machismo. And the rest of us just have to it's like the crazy pervy uncle that never gets in trouble for anything. That's an embarrassment. That's what America is. America's a joke, man. It's a bunch of frauds. Ugh. Where is... Are you drinking water, Ma?
Yes.
No, you're not, you little ornery. Here, drink this. Where's your cup?
Right there.
Here, drink that. Here. Drink that, please. Ugh. I didn't get any salmon today. I think we're just gonna do steamed vegetables. But I did buy us a half a peach pie. I'll do that, and then we'll eat 2 bites of the inner parts, and then I throw the rest away. I waste a lot of food, Mom. I like peach cobbler though. And peach pie.
Peach pie.
Peach pie.
Mm-hmm.
Where is my confounded phone?
It was just...
I don't really want to hear Aaliyah right now.
Yeah.
I'm losing my hearing, Ma.
Oh.
I had a hearing test back in September,
Uh-huh.
and they still haven't given me my benefit for that.
Oh.
I'll get back pay though. We
Okay.
just live in such a inefficient place where people get paid to do nothing.
Nothing.
They do, because nothing ever gets done. And then I do 1-star reviews for the VA and shit like that. Because that's all I can do. I can't get mad. They make notes that the veteran got upset that they wanted me to go to fucking Santa Fe from Taos. And all the pressure that came with that of traveling with you, Ma. Because they don't care. They don't care about people because they're not real people. Because they're friends to Epstein. New Mexico's the land of the stupid cousin. They have a bunch of that benefit. Even if you go to the Taos County page,
Mm-hmm.
it talks about how 15-year-old kids can get married. That's disgusting. That's what they can't come up with legislation to protect the kids, and then they're like, well, we're gonna put a committee together to look into this Epstein business. Dude, don't act like you care. You didn't care before. They didn't care when Epstein lived here. They didn't. He got that property for $200. $200 for a ranch. There's people that single moms that on the res, they don't got fucking running water. They're still putting mercury in kids' teeth. They're still doing the old ways because they're not allowed the advantages and privileges of the important people. And it's always been like that. If they live, they live, and if they die, oh well. They don't care. Because people without souls don't care about farming humans. And that's how America really is. So people have parades for that. You know that song that I was listening to that Avicii song today.
Wait, what's that one?
Avicii.
Avicii?
He was a guy, he got killed years ago. He was one of those truth speakers. And he did a video about little kids getting trafficked. And he got killed.
He did?
Yeah. And that's because they don't want people doing videos about what they're doing. Because people, then they'll get caught doing what they're doing. And people are creeps. People are perverts. Like, the whole world is run by freaking, like, creepy perverts. And I'm a prude. So, I'm team prude. I'm all for team prude. I'm not for creepy stuff like, people in inappropriate age gap relationships. I always thought those were weird. Like, old men and young women. Or old women and young men. Remember Harold and Maude, Ma?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't sleep a lot at night. Because my stomach always hurt. Because my stomach is my primary brain. And so I'd wake up and my stomach would hurt. And then I'd go watch the shows that the creator wanted me to see in the middle of the night was just really bizarre. And so, like, I'd watch shows like Harold and Maude. But do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He was like 17, she was like 70s. And they just, no. I'm programmed just like everybody else, and like, that's just like that's just an imbalance. Do you have like the sugar daughters? The young hot chicks with the old dudes that they have their midlife crisis in their 60s and 70s because their first wives die off. All that shit. It's the same story in different people. I don't want to do none of those stories that those people do. I don't want to do none of that. They're all the same. Like, every company I've worked at, like, I always run into the same people. The same vibrational frequency in different bodies. So I got some real good at not, like, judging books by their cover. Like, judging, what they talk about. Like, don't look at people. But people don't feel good because they're empty. But they're acting like they're a real person. And they're acting like, I noticed that today because I'm a shiny little bright star. Without all the privilege of nepotism, right?
Nepotism.
And so, I go out in the world and I'm just, woo! People are happy to see me. And then there's always somebody in proximity that has to draw any attention and suck it. They're the soul sucker people. They're the ones that habitually. I was at the grocery store today. I was asking about the lady who worked there, her grandkids, and how they're doing. And this energy loose suck, like, has to make, we're having a conversation and this guy has to interject himself and make a conversation that doesn't have anything to do with him about him. And when people do that, I just let them suck. I just let them suck up all the air in the room. And then I look at them and I just go, well, dude, the guy can't even walk. He's in one of those scooters because he's one of those energy beings that just suck up everything and have to make it about him. And, like, people consume things that aren't good for them just because they have to always constantly do things to make them feel better about things. And on that note, I'm going to get me some peach pie. Mom!
Moving on.
Back when I lived in like corporate world and stuff, you know. Well, like we didn't have a lot of money growing up, but like sometimes in Morro Bay, we'd get to go down. We get to go down to the donut shop, right? And I'd go outside, get a donut. I'd be like, "Do you have any samples?"
Yeah.
That's how we got stuff, because I'd ask for it, because Mom never had no money, so. But it's just worth a shot, right?
Yeah.
And so we'd go down to donuts, and then when I lived in Omaha, there'd be like Pettit's Donuts, and in Salem there's the donut shop that I could go down and get you a whole half order of biscuits and gravy on cold days, right?
Yes. That's nice.
So donuts are kind of a cool thing, but I don't like the donuts in Taos. There's not a place where they have good donuts. But they do have good pastries, and like some of the bakeries, sometimes I'll catch stuff. Like this peach pie.
Peach pie.
It's peach and pralines. Here.
Peach and pralines.
Here. You got it? Is that good, Mom? That's not awful. Do you like peaches, Mom?
Peaches?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Want another bite of peach? Here. You love it?
Mm-hmm.
Here it is.
Oh, yours are so nice.
This is kind of what the world is turned into now.
It is.
Toys. This is the movie I was trying to look up earlier. I never trust dudes without lips. It's weird when people don't have lips. That's like... I was telling the lady at the flower shop today about the lizard people.
Lizard.
And how half of my blood is from the lizards.
Uh-huh.
And then the other half is from Mom, the indigenous.
Yeah.
That they've been doing their weird scientific experiments on us for all time. Some of us are harder to kill off than others, though, huh, Mom?
Yeah.
You know what is weird, though, now?
What's that?
Is the number of people that get cancer at young ages. These little kids are getting cancer.
Oh.
Your body is just a filtration system. That's all our bodies are. People don't even understand that the largest organ on your body is your skin. And there's things that people have to do to take care of themselves. And people don't do it. And then the consequences, dude. I don't like watching people do concerts and then their eyes are bleeding. That shit's weird. There should be no place on planet Earth for that shit. That's when people, people are playing too much.
Playing too much.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wouldn't do a lot of stuff. And then once you find out who the people are that like watch the snuff films and stuff. Like we were talking about that today. Like you know who the people are that you stay away from their house.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like every community has people like, oh, they're scumbags.
Scumbag.
And their mental health is so oozy and their brains are so broken inside that that like you see it ooze out in trash everywhere you look. And then they're the ones that are usually protected and they're the ones that should be locked up forever. There's a lot of people that are out free that should be locked up because of who their primos were. primas, whatever, who their aunties were, who their friends to Epstein were. I'll never forget New Mexico to being friends to Epstein. They let that fool win the lottery not once but twice. So they can take their little white sands and, you know, not like nothing good ever comes from this state because they allowed so much gross shit, you know, and then they say, well, just give them green and red chilies and we'll call it good. Give the stupid, unuseful cousins hot air balloon festivals and their little Harleys to ride around on. Oh, all the little hitos on Harleys. It's hogs on hogs all up in here. You know, like where are your kids? Because you all got kids because you're too pretty to not be spreading that seed all over the place. So where are your kids today while you're out on your bike? Because that's what I came from when I had a deadbeat dad too. There's deadbeat dads all over Kern, Fresno, Bakersfield. They're all the same. They all drive trucks. They all have their belt buckles. They're the real buckle chasers. The dudes with the belt buckles. Bunch of bad guys all over America that I'm supposed to celebrate and revere as good men, and I won't do it. I'm not going to celebrate the guys that like all the police that got paychecks for the last 20, 30, 40 years, but they were never around to protect mom when some dude was kicking her ass. Oh. So what good are they? They're not very, very useful in my mind. So I had to learn how to take care of mom because there ain't no man in America that's going to, you know, defend her honor because they haven't up till this point, right? Mm-hmm. Heck, mom couldn't even get food stamps in Taos. Oh. So I just figured out how to buy food without food stamps. Food stamps. Just learn to be a good enough person, and then you can just figure out how to circumvent all the systems. Oh, I wake up most every day these days, and I just have gratitude in my heart because I don't have to go out and talk to nobody. Oh. I don't got to deal with nobody. Nobody. I don't have to go out and hustle. I don't have to go out and sell a bunch of stuff because I got to figure out how to pay rent. My landlady, like the people that I rent from now, they're not complete scumbags. If there's something wrong, they fix it pretty quick. Sometimes it takes time to figure stuff out. And there's hard days, but that's just what life is, right? Everybody's happy because everybody knows how to go with the flow. Ain't that true, Mom? Go with the flow. They just go with the flow. Just go along to get along. Just take whatever you get. Just be happy with whatever you get. Don't be sad. Don't complain about nothing ever. Just be good with your lot in life. I never even had to go to college because what I found out in 2016 is that all the jobs are already given to, the positions are already filled. Yeah. That I found out 10 years ago that people don't get jobs based on merit. They get jobs on who they used to party with. You know? People used to tell me I was a piece of scumbag because I drank alcohol and I party and I'd screw around and, you know, I wouldn't do respect, you know, I wouldn't go work at corporate America and play all the stupid reindeer games. And now they talk like there's people with all this power that, oh yeah, I was doing coke off the back of toilet seats in nightclubs. Yeah, we knew that, but you still got the good job. Like, being a good person doesn't get you anything in America anymore. It doesn't pay to be a good person because people profit more from selling out their own mother. People sell out the people they care about every day just by ignoring them. Ma, you never did nothing that was so awful that would warrant, like, being ignored by your son for the rest of your life. Because he can't face himself, who he is with us, right? Because they all fake and paint pictures of who they want the world to believe they are. And then there's people like me that tell the truth and be like, nah, he's a scumbag. He's got you guys all fooled. Because good men don't wear pleated pants. They all wear, like, I swear, man, they're all the same because they all go. He's one of those fraternity guys. Now that their people are looking at for how stupid fraternities are again. Like, you got 20 fucking kids that don't have enough sense to not freaking be caught with in their underwear in a basement. Like, that's 40 parents that failed each and every one of those kids because they just want to go along to do the right thing, to rush you. Like, the military did that. They didn't do that shit with me because I wouldn't play their stupid games, but to the bros that were PCSing, they would fucking tie him down to a cart with the cargo straps and bring him into the bay where we would wash equipment. And sometimes somebody would bring, like, they would take a bowl and mix a bunch of condiments and sticky shit in a bowl and dump it over them. I have pictures of hazing in the military, but hey, they say that stuff doesn't happen. That's what it's always hard to determine, like which world am I living in? In the world where it happens, or where you people pretend like it doesn't? Because the whole world always exists where people that do what they want to do and don't control themselves are going around doing weird shit in the dark. And sometimes they're doing it right in the daytime. You'd be surprised how many weird sexual rituals people do. By just having, just like, there's this girl that I dated, weirdest thing she ever said to me is that, like, there's this Hilton Hotel in Omaha, and there's this window that when you go by the interstate, you can, like, look right into the window. And this chick wanted to get done in that window and then watch all these people watch her get done. Like, that was her aspiration in life. Like, there's weird people that get, like, these sexual attachments and they can't help themselves. They call them happy endings and massage. I've had a lot of massages and I ain't never had nobody touch me inappropriate. Yet there's so many people out there that there's a thing called happy ending. Bobby Coyle taught me about a happy ending. It's where they get so excited. Because why are you getting excited in a massage? That's, people gives themselves, permission to be pervy in their minds, and then their bodies respond. And then they're like, oh, I can't help. And then they're like, I'm sick. I'm a what they call them, sex addict. Like, dude, keep it in your pants. There's plenty of people that get urges, but they don't have to go around and live out these weird fantasies like other people do. All this eyed wide shut, all this stuff people live in weird, freakish ways the whole time. They always do weird stuff at the parties after dark. That's why I don't go to parties. I don't go to the places where people do weird stuff. Even when I would go out into the AA retreats, I used to go hang out. There's a bunch of witches in AA. Bunch of hanging out in the woods, and you'd go hang out and do their weird stuff. I don't want to hang out with them. I'd rather play solitaire by myself until the meeting starts. Well, they make me the bad guy because I don't want to go along with their weird stuff. All of it. All their rituals. Even when people go to air shows, that's ritual. It's in your face. Look at all the money that we're spending bullshit on when so many single moms don't have what they need to take care of their kids. Like, why do any kids have to pay for lunch in the school system? I was always last in line because we were on welfare, so we got the free lunch. But I just got what was left over of what the people that got what they got. I got whatever everybody else didn't want to pick over. But sometimes I'd meet a nice lunch lady, and they'd be real nice to me sometimes, because I guess they could see my heart, because I moved around so much, man. God, people just pitied me. And sometimes these lunch ladies would freaking, like, make me pizza on days that they didn't have pizza. Stuff like that. That's how I know that to be the good person in the world is because, man, there's too many people that want to keep the advantage to their friends, and then not everybody gets pizza when that happens. I don't even think I could ever eat pizza ever again now with what they've done with pizza. I don't even think I could eat it no more. They gotta ruin everything with their weird ritual stuff. They just gotta take good things and they just go too far. That's why I don't like go. There's a lot of art studios and stuff like that where I live. I don't want to get into the minds of these people. I don't want to know what they think about. Because it ain't nothing conducive to creating a community. You know, I saw a homie today. Like, I was good to see him. I haven't seen him. He has a big smile. I think he lives on the Pueblo, and he's lived here his whole life, you know, and he's just one of those guys. We're no different, he and I, that guy. You know, like there's a lot of years that nobody cared about me, or I didn't think they'd care about me, and I'd wake up and I'd get a bottle and be, you know, face wasted by 10 o'clock in the morning. And then go find a nice tree to take a nap under, and then wake up and do it again. But if we give people better things to do, then they'll do better things with their time. And I got all kinds of ideas to get people, you know, like I want to see young people 8, 9, 10 years old, like out in excavators and little tractors, like moving earth and learning how to put in plumbing and things like that. You know, it's better than like waking up, eating a bowl of cereal, and then going and playing video games for 9 hours. Like, build a community. Everybody of all ages should be able to contribute to rebuilding the community in which they live, in whatever capacity they feel like. Mm-hmm. Like, if it's young people or, you know, old people alike, they just want to get together and bake a bunch of pastries and stuff, so people that like donuts on Sunday morning have a place to go and get them. Right? Mm-hmm. The privilege shouldn't just go to the people that are for Epstein. That's all I'm saying.